Hello, everybody, and welcome on into the final edition of Power Rankings for this NFL season. 8 teams to go over. Before we do, I want to quickly say if you're new, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Leave a like and let me know your thoughts down below. Now let's jump right into it. Number 8 is the Buffalo Bills. Now, I was tempted to put them a bit higher because that was still a good win they had against the Jaguars, as the Bills will be the Bills will be the Bills. You let them hang around too much, they're going to find a way to come through in the end. At the half, it was clear that the Bills had the game pretty much in the bag. They continue to be the best second half team in the league this season, and that is not stopping seemingly anytime soon, even with all the weaknesses they do have. The run defense gave up 6.7 yards per carry, but the Jaguars didn't really try to exploit that too much as they should have. They picked off Trevor Lawrence twice, including the game winner. James Cook was held to 3.1 yards per carry. Allen backs it up though with 273 yards and a touchdown. Only 7 incompletions in this game for them. Josh Allen came in massive when the Bills needed him most once again. He continues to do that for this team. And again, I was tempted to put them a bit higher, but with just how some of the other teams played throughout the week, it was really tough to figure out exactly this bottom half of all of it. So they come in still at a very nice number 8. To that same notion, number 7 is the Chicago Bears. The comeback Bears strike again, and this was even more impressive than the first time they did it against the Packers, coming back down 21-3 at the half. Caleb Williams made some incredible throws throughout this game, none greater than that 4th and 8 throw while down by 9. That was a thing of absolute beauty. It has been a fantastic thing to see his development throughout this season. I'm very excited to see what he does throughout the rest of these playoffs and also into next year. The defense stepped up after allowing 3 straight touchdown drives to start the game. The Bears are not a team that go down easy. This is their 7th come from behind win in the 4th quarter this season. It is a very impressive thing to be able to do. But the thing is, all the remaining teams in the NFC especially are not like the Packers. They're not a team that's going to allow you to have a massive comeback on them more often than not. Obviously, the Rams had that against the Seahawks, and that's who the Bears play next. So who knows? Maybe we'll see the Bears have another thing here, or maybe they'll just actually play well for a full 60. Time will tell. They come in at number 7. Number 6 is the Houston Texans. That was a dominant game from Houston, a very impressive win on the road in really tough territory to play on Monday Night Football against Pittsburgh. The defense is more than good enough to get the job done this season, and I'm going to hate to, and most likely it feels like they're going to waste it, and I hate to say that, because the defense is playing absolutely insane. They completely shut down the Steelers' offense, had a scoop and score, got a pick 6, held them to under 200 yards of offense in this game. The Steelers were 2 for 14 on 3rd down, with most of those 3rd down tries coming from 10 plus. The defense played fantastic. The offense ended the day playing pretty well. It still eclipsed 400 yards on the day, but the early stages was rough for this offense. They made some very costly mistakes that if they were playing against any other team, they probably would have lost this game. DJ Stroud was the main one who made those mistakes. The multiple botch snaps that he couldn't hang on to. The interception to begin the second half was a very bad interception to throw there. But those are mistakes that can be fixed. We'll see if Houston will be able to, as they're going to be playing a much better offense next week than they just did. So we'll see. They come in at number 6. Number 5 is the San Francisco 49ers. And the injuries continue to plague this team. But they're playing at the style right now where it doesn't really seem to matter. They're still getting the job done just fine. Offense looked rough in the second half, but was still able to move the ball pretty consistently, especially into the 4th quarter. And it was only a matter of time before they actually found the end zone. And they did just that twice in this one to get the win. It also helps when the defense is playing shutdown football. They held the Eagles to only 6 points in the second half, really taking advantage of the fact that the Eagles are one of the worst second half teams in this season, and that led to the win in this one. George Kittle being out is definitely going to hurt the offense, as it did throughout portions of that game. But at the same time, they still have a ton of really solid weapons, and they're expected to get Ricky Pearsall back next week. So it's a bit of a grain of salt. Obviously, losing Kittle sucks, but they still have plenty of talent on that roster, and they've shown throughout this season that it's just next man up, and they constantly have the proper next man to be able to step up and continue on winning. The 49ers are a team that won't back down. They come in at number 5. Number 4 is the Denver Broncos, and I'm going to try to keep this a bit short here. They have a tough hill in front of them to climb with how they've played entering the playoffs. They were showing signs of the offense getting back into a rhythm there, as that was one of the bigger issues they had in the final stretch. So we'll see if, especially the ground game, can find that rhythm again. Bo Nix was throwing well, though, so who knows? Maybe they can just be an air-first team. The defense is one of the better defenses in the league. They're playing really well in that regard. They're expected to get J.K. Dobbins back for around the AFC Championship if they make it. So is RJ Harvey leading the way for the playoffs in this one? Again, defense is more than good enough. Denver's going to be in the position with home field advantage to still be in a good spot. They come in at number 4. Number 3 is the New England Patriots. And there's not a whole lot to talk about for that game as it was a pretty low scoring affair. But that Patriots defense is one to reckon with. They completely shut down that Chargers offense. It helped that the Chargers offense have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, but they took full advantage of it. Herbert was sacked 6 times. If you count up all the individual pressures that the Patriots defensive players got, they got 30 pressures in this game, which is an insane amount to get. They held them to only 3 points. Herbert was under 200 yards passing. The entire day was rough for that Chargers offense. The Patriots defense forced a fumble. It was a great day for the Patriots defense. The Patriots offense was off to a really slow start in this one. They had a few chances early, but they turned over on downs or whatnot, kicked field goals. But it took until very late into this game for them to feel like they fully got a rhythm. They found it at the right time, but it was a bit weird of a game all around for this Patriots offense. They're going against a Houston defense next week. That's really good and really tough. Going to be something to keep an eye on, but still, the Patriots, one of the more complete teams, come in at number 3. Number 2 is the Los Angeles Rams, and the defense didn't quite show up to how I expected in this game for the Rams, but they still got the win regardless, as Matthew Stafford is still Matthew Stafford. Even in a bit of an off day, he missed some throws he would normally make. He still ended up with over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in this one. The ground game got them 116 yards on 4 and a touchdown of 4 yards per carry. Colby Parkinson had that great game-winning catch at the end there, and the defense held the Panthers when they needed to most towards the end. They also held them to 3.8 yards per carry, though did also give up 3 touchdowns, so take it as you will. They picked off Bryce Young once. They made the final stand. It was kind of similar to the kind of a role reversal of the first time these two teams met. The Rams won it in this one, another very tough and another very close game. The Rams are going to be able to be in every single game. They've played a lot of close games this season. So if they're going to be in a close game, it's fair to say Matthew Stafford is going to be able to get a chance and more often than not, going to get the job done. This is a Rams team that is built for the playoffs and they're showing it. So they come in at number 2. And finally, at number 1, the Seattle Seahawks. Also going to keep this one a bit close as they were on their bye week. But the Seahawks are getting back some very nice help, is seemingly at this time. Charles Cross is seemingly going to be back, their left tackle. That's going to be a good addition there. And on top of that, they're playing at home now in Lumen Field. Going to be a great home atmosphere for a rematch against San Francisco. Darnold been playing well. JSN has blossomed into a true number 1. Their defense played fantastic the last time they were out. Going to be an interesting game to see on Saturday night, and when they play the 49ers again. They have a chance here to go on another legitimate run for Seattle. Going to be interesting to see. They come in at number 1. All right, so quick little rundown. The Buffalo Bills are at 8, Chicago Bears at 7, Houston Texans at 6, San Francisco 49ers at 5, Denver Broncos at 4, New England Patriots at 3, Los Angeles Rams at 2, and the Seattle Seahawks round things out at number 1. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, this is the final edition of Power Rankings, so have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.